It is NFL Daily Mailbag time here on Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey, answering your guys' questions on whatever you want to talk about for the NFL. First up from Evan Hinders, is drafting Trey Lance a mistake for the 49ers? Way too early to tell. We're going to see. I think Trey Lance gets some run here down the stretch for San Francisco with Jimmy Garoppolo now banged up with that thumb injury. I am very curious to see how Lance fares, but we knew going into that draft pick when they made it, long-term play, not a short-term, like instant, immediate, high-end player. Like it was going to take a little bit of time for Lance to develop. He was a rawer prospect. So way too early to call him a mistake or not, but we're going to have to take some time to figure that one out from that perspective in terms of developing Trey Lance. Don't panic quite yet on him. From Otis Walsh, Russell Wilson to the Giants. Ooh, good question here. Okay. I think there is a very good chance that Russell Wilson is somewhere else in 2022. I don't think he ends up being a Seahawk for that much longer. It just kind of feels like that relationship has begun to run its course a little bit. Now, I think the Giants, along with several other teams, make sense because if you're trying to reset and get a good quarterback in there, Wilson's an upgrade. Now, are the Giants going to be stubborn and commit to Daniel Jones? I wouldn't go that route. I would go get Russell Wilson. I think, frankly, the Washington football team and the Giants, strong contenders to go after Russell Wilson. So where will Wilson play next year? Seattle could still be an option, but maybe they look in a different direction. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if that ad break plays here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down to the pinned comment and make your predictions where Russell Wilson will play next season. Christian Navarro, who will be our next head coach for Jacksonville? Byron Leftwich, Jim Caldwell, or Doug Pederson? I think three good names on that list. I think three strong contenders. If you want stability, I think Jim Caldwell, Doug Pederson makes sense. We've seen them as NFL head coaches. I think Jim Caldwell would be a great culture guy for Jacksonville, which I do think they need right now. I think I'd rather have Doug Pederson over Caldwell. We've seen him have a higher success rate than Caldwell has in the NFL. But if you want to swing for the fences, I like the Byron Leftwich idea. I think any of those three guys would be good hires. I might put Pederson number one because at this point you need something proven after the disaster that was the Urban Meyer era. From Trent Nugent, do you believe in Tua? I think that we know. I think we got a pretty good feel for what Tua can be in the NFL. Is he going to be a high-end, like, superstar, Josh Allen, crazy playmaker? No, probably not. Can he be a reliable chain mover, accurate, able to make some big-time plays? Yeah, I think he can be. I think he's done that already. The Dolphins are hot as of late. So I do believe in Tua. Look, the Dolphins' path to the playoffs is so difficult from where they were even just a couple weeks ago, right? I like Tua. I'm not out on him. I think if you're the Dolphins, you should probably just build around him and get a good offensive line and a singular good back. I think there'll be a much better offense as a result. From John Krueger, Carson Wentz, candidate for comeback player of the year. I think in a normal year, yeah, Carson Wentz is probably a very strong contender for comeback player of the year because of what he was last year to what he's done this year. Normally, yes. Hell, Nick Bosa in motion is a good chance. But Dak Prescott suffered the gruesome ankle injury, and I mean, you saw what he did against Washington. They've won the division. They're going to be probably top 3 seed, maybe worst case number 4 seed. That's probably better than what the Colts will end up being. Hell, Joe Burrow probably has a better argument over Carson Wentz. So Wentz has had a comeback player of the year season. He's a top 4 lock, no doubt. I think I still think Dak Prescott, though, ends up winning that award. Again, if you missed it earlier, the Fanatics jersey deal is available. Chatsports.com/jersey deal. Under $90, a ton of NFL jerseys, official Nike ones, by the way, from all kinds of different teams. All the NFL teams have a jersey for you guys. So whatever team you cheer for, they got you guys covered. We had the Tua question. Boom, there's one right there. Justin Fields. Some rookie jerseys are included for under 90 at chatsports.com/jersey deal. I'll put that link, by the way, in the comment section and in the description. Eric Simmons. Will Pete Carroll coach again after this year? I don't know. This year, from what the consistent success for Pete Carroll in Seattle to what they've done now, it is a pretty stark difference. Because of that, I don't know if that's going to end up being the case. So I think the Pete Carroll situation is one worth monitoring. We'll see if he ends up coaching another season. From Bailey Gordon, same plan offensively for Zona fast. Well, this refers to the Dallas Cowboys. It should be. Like, if you're the Cowboys, I think you saw what works well offensively, right? Being able to play with tempo, air it out downfield, have success. Like, that was, I think, a good offensive game plan. They were showing more trust, by the way, in the O-line, the footwork, the offensive game plan as well. I think the Cowboys are better when Amari Cooper gets involved early. So if I'm Dallas, yeah, do that again. It worked, right? From Robert Bruce, hello Tom, hello Jeff. Think the Patriots need to win their last 2 games to make the playoffs. I think in reality, they have to win 1 of their last 2 games. Now, if they lose the Jags and beat the Dolphins, tiebreaker-wise, they're pretty much a lock. But if they win 1 of their final games, it's like a 98-99% chance that they make the postseason, something like a near impossibility for them to not make it. So 1 of those games, and the Patriots will end up making the postseason. Even if they lose both, it's still like a solid 30-ish, 40-ish% chance of finding their way in to the postseason. Jimmie Burke. So the Saints go all in for a big quarterback to the trade, like a Russ or Rodgers or someone. Winston is what he is. Like, he's not I don't think he's a true franchise guy. If you're the Saints, who have been a very aggressive franchise, your roster is still built to kind of win games right now, I'd go all in. I would love to get a Russell Wilson. Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson with Sean Payton, let's ride. I mean, you still got to figure out your receiver core because they're not very good there, but you could find a way to make that work. Like, that's the route I would go if I were the Saints. So I think it's probably Russ, Rodgers. If the Deshaun Watson stuff gets figured out, be all in on that front, but we'll see. So name a quarterback you think gets dealt. I'll put it this way. Who is the most likely quarterback to get dealt by a team this offseason? Let me know what you guys think. Shoot your shot for me in the comments. From Jacob Shagoin, the Texans build around Davis Mills or start over in the draft. I think you go Jalen Hurts style. Mills has shown some promise as of late, which I think is a good sign from that perspective. I also am not sold on Davis Mills. I'm also not sold on this year's draft class, and definitely not as a top 5 quarterback. So I think what you do is you give Davis Mills next year. See if he can be your guy. If he's not, that's okay. Draft one next year in what I think will be a better top-heavy quarterback draft class. If he is the guy, great. Then you build around him. I think that's the best path for Houston. James Tillery. Should the Browns get rid of Kevin Stefanski or Baker Mayfield or both? I think you keep your head coach. I know there's been some criticism of the Kevin Stefanski play calling, but look, your quarterback can't roll right. He's not playing all that well either, and you got to kind of figure out that perspective. It's a bit of an issue there. I'm going to keep Stefanski. If I'm the Browns, as a Baker Mayfield believer, if you can get an Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson, if the off-field stuff is cleared, don't you have to explore that? And if not, you roll it back for one more year and then make a decision later on Baker. So I think he keeps Stefanski, swing for the fences at quarterback. If not, give Baker another year. Because guess what? The free agency crop, the draft prospects, not really an upgrade. At least a proven upgrade. From the past master, chances Tomlin becomes Minnesota's new coach. I think pretty much zero. I don't really. I know he was briefly the Vikings DC before the Steelers hired him, but I don't think Tomlin's going to leave Pittsburgh. Now, if that ends up falling apart, well, then I think if you're Minnesota, you call immediately. It'd be a great hire, but I think it'd be a pretty low possibility from that perspective. From Troy Sullivan, is Tyler Huntley going to be a trade piece in the offseason? What's he worth in a trade? Ooh, good question. Huntley is an interesting player. Should have been drafted as far as I'm concerned. Now, you can go back and look at my own draft grades for him. Good offense. He's in the right spot. I don't think any team is going to view Huntley as the franchise guy. Like, I don't think they're going to say, this is our franchise quarterback. They'll view him in, like, maybe in that Gardner Minshew. Like, he can start, be a great backup for you, but that's maybe worth a day 3 pick, early day 3 pick. And if that's the cost, you probably keep him if you're Baltimore. So I think you shop him, but unless the team blows you away, keep him. He's cheap, good quarterback depth. That is very tough to find. Now, we'll have NFL videos for you guys all off season long. News, rumors, trades, draft, coaching stuff, free agency, all of it. So, if you haven't already, join us. Hit that big red button and subscribe for free videos every single day. In fact, multiple times a day here on Chat Sports. Lil Dallas Cowboy, if we lose, that's 6 years for Dak. League would fear us if we had A-Rod or Russ. Money cancels. Those two are much better than our QB. Let's get one. No, the money does not cancel out. You've paid Dak Prescott. You trade Dak or cut Dak, you're eating tons of money. By the way, 6 years for Dak. Haven't we gone 6 years for A-Rod and Russ? Like, don't let Tom Brady fool you. Getting one is incredible. The Cowboys just dropped 56 points with Dak Prescott. Like, when was last time Russ dropped 56 points? Like, don't get older to make a lateral move. Like, not to be rude, just not it. All right, John Dorman. Will Derek Carr get traded? And what would his value be? 2 1s or maybe a 1 and a 3? Well, first off, very different values there. 2 firsts or a first and a third. I think it's closer to a 1 and a 3 than 2 firsts. Derek Carr is a good quarterback. Is he the guy you're going to win a Super Bowl with? I'm not sure. His value might be brought down this offseason when guys like Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson are potentially on the trade block. So Carr is a top 15-ish quarterback. That does carry value, but is that the guy you give up all of your draft picks for? I'm just not sure. His trade value is difficult for me. I think at minimum, though, you got to start with a 1. John Krueger, out on Baker Mayfield in Cleveland. I'm not all the way out, but I am concerned about Baker Mayfield in Cleveland. His footwork, to be blunt, is a disaster. It was never great, but it has regressed as of it's a disaster. Now, maybe when he gets that shoulder fixed in the offseason, all he does is take a Dak Prescott, Josh Allen approach and fix that footwork and get it right because he has the raw talent. But when your footwork is that bad, it's really tough to have consistent success, and that's been the issue. So if you can get a Rodgers or a Wilson, let's ride. Sorry, Baker. See ya. Otherwise, you probably roll it back for 1 more year. I want you guys to shout out your favorite NFL team for me in the comment section. Who is it? Sound off and rep your squad. From Brad Howard, is Julio Jones washed up? Oh, my. I think we have stats here. Maybe. It's not been good this year for Julio. I know injuries are no doubt a big factor in that, but this is bad production from Julio Jones. 376 yards, 26 receptions. That's bad. And I know there have been injuries for Julio. The quarterback's been banged up as well, but that's not what you want out of Julio Jones. So my answer is, at his age, his injury problems, maybe. All right, from Mitty, I think the Seahawks should trade/cut Chris Carson and Kerry Hyder. Both haven't been what we expected them to be. Yeah, I think that's a fair situation. Hyder has not been great. I think Carson is a strong cut candidate as well. Jomo, should the Ravens sit Lamar rest of the year? No, because he is still your best quarterback, as good as Huntley has been. He's your best quarterback, and you are trying to make the playoffs right now. So until or unless you are eliminated from the postseason, you do not bench your quarterback. Now, if he can't go this week and you lose, you got a very limited chance to make the postseason. But as long as you're alive, you try and get Lamar back out there and healthy.